Hey, what's up, guys? Graveyard has risen up from the ground and it is ready to pound some towers. We're back in again with the best graveyard deck in Clash Royale. Currently, the number 65 player in the world has been crushing Electro Giants with his Zappies mortar combination. If you guys play against any beatdown deck, your defense will be on lock by dropping your mortars off to the side, using your Zappies to stun and stop all of your opponent's push in place, while the musketeer damages everything down. And if you play against bridge spam or balloons, you can pull their stuff to the middle with the mortar while getting damage on the tower. Zappies will stun all their stuff, and if things ever get somewhat scary, you can rely on the freeze on defense to shut everything down. This is the best graveyard deck played at the top of the world right now. It has Archer Queen instead of Musketeer, but we're using Musketeer to have more fireball bait and to show you guys that you don't need champions. So let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance. Thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. All right, we got a game against Deadshot. So first things first, you guys already know the deal. I'm going to mortar because that's going to give me a good trade. He knights in the back, so he has to go in for a Goblin Gang most likely. Oh, he does have log bait, so I was right on that. I was hoping he would Goblin Gang split and then have it get splashed onto by our mortar, but he's gonna have Tesla instead of having an Inferno Tower, so he was able to go for that instead. Log is out of cycle. That means he's gonna have Goblin Gang if we go for a graveyard, and then I could arrow on that, and without log to clean up the graveyard skeletons, we'll have to wait and see. Wait, what? You're gonna have Fireball with this? This man is throwing me for a loop right now. And instead of having Rocket, he's going to have Fireball. Instead of having the Inferno Tower, he's also going to end up whipping out a random Tesla. So try to get some massive value with the freeze here. He's going to have Archer Queen. So this is not the deck that I anticipated in the slightest. Still insane value with that freeze. Catching an Archer Queen, a Tower, and a Knight. Putting that Knights out on the Tower, baby. That's what we're talking about. Go to sleep, Tower. Alright, so he's going to go and click the ability. So I got to go guards here. Remember, he's got Tesla with this deck. So I don't know what it is. I don't think it's log bait anymore. I really don't think it's log bait. Usually after you see Knight, the only thing that comes to mind is log bait, but this guy is being different. If I go in for a mortar, it's going to get shut down by a Tesla, so I don't want to do that. There's a high chance that he just goes Tesla. I could Valkyrie here. He doesn't have Rocket. Ooh, spicy, bro. I wasn't ready for that either. Okay, I guess it makes sense to be running Expo. But I think our deck beats Expo if we play it correctly, which mostly doesn't happen when you've got freeze, but since I've got a defensive sequence with mortar on the back end, I can guarantee that the Expo is not able to guarantee tower connections every time. All right, so I'm going to go in for a Musketeer here. There's a chance he fireballs that. That's okay. I'm just willing to take the damage on my tower since I'm up so much. And then I can go for Zappies and split them. So I'm going to go in for... No, I'm going to Zappies all same side if you want to do that. You're going to Expo. That's fine. I can conveniently go in for my guards and then mortar here. This is quite okay. Notice how I'm going to keep my Zappies alive so then he's not able to break through. And I can get another Musketeer down. I wonder if he's back to enough Elixir to Fireball. It is double Elixir. There's a chance. Yeah, he is. I can get Zappies down though, so it's not too bad. Just hitting the Expo makes sure that it's going to get reset, so we're fine here. The guy's pretty toxic though. I mean, I guess you can kind of expect that from Expo players. A lot of them are not the nicest people in Clash Royale when they go in for their bridge spam Expo Teslas and then spam the laughing emojis when they get their tower damage. I'm going to freeze, and we'll see if we can bounce back against this dirty BMer. He's going to have Electro Spirit and Log and a very fast card cycle, so it's going to be harder for me to find damage. I'm going to go in for a mortar here, and it looks like we're going to lock on to the Archer Queen and the Knight. That's quite good, and then I can follow up with a Valkyrie, so even if he goes invisible, we are able to kill the Archer Queen since it's targeting the Knight, so it spins and then hits the Archer Queen too. Hey, let's go! That was epic! That was really, really good. And I can go in for a graveyard since I have the mortar still alive. I might want to go in for a freeze as well. Or I can mortar again aggressively. Yeah, I'm going to freeze this because it's too much for us to pass up on.
And it looks like... But I'm the queen!
If you're going to Archer Queen in the back, you are not going to be able to stack up any of those skeletons on top of your units. Let's go. Okay, I got to go for mortar as soon as I can again in a spot that he's not going to be wanting to fireball. So see what he decides to do here. Okay, he's going to go in for a defensive Expo. That is likely going to be the best play that he could do. I want to go in for guards on the other side so we can just distract the Expo for a bit so that maybe the Valkyrie can tank for the tower without the Expo locking on. I want to freeze this as well since I can hit the Archer Queen. I don't know how much damage I can get from this, but I think it's going to be worth it. Let's go! The skeletons are surrounding the tower, but he's got Electro Spirit again. I got to go for a lower defensive mortar since it doesn't get hit by the Expo, but the other Expo will hit it. So this is what I was talking about. If you don't have a mortar and you've got Tesla, usually you're going to have to Tesla pretty high up, which is really predictable. So it's better to have a defensive card that can shoot the Expo from far enough away. All right, yeah, that mortar is going to be able to get a connection. And then I think I want to go in for another Musketeer here. That should lock onto the Expo. I don't have to worry. What I can do here is like, okay, he predicted that I was going to go in for a mortar, so I'm going to go for a graveyard, and I'm going to switch it up and swerve him. And then I can freeze on the Expo, and I can also hit the Knight, hopefully. Okay, this is looking not the best, but it's something that we can work with. If I can get another mortar down, I know that he's not going to be able to break through that for a while. Then triple elixir, he's able to spam a lot of stuff at me, so I'm expecting him to go in for more expos at the river. Any second now, I'm going to go in for a musketeer on the other side. I definitely do want to freeze both of the expos so we can guarantee that they die. Musketeer putting in the work. Let's go, guys. I really want to beat this dirty BMer. This is such an intense game right now. I'm going to go for arrows as well, get another Valkyrie down. So if he fireballs this back, he could maybe win, but it looks like we are going to walk away with a very dominant W against a dirty Expo BM spammer. You'll love to see it. GG, well played, and peace out, buddy. Wins like that one is what makes Clash Royale so ridiculously fun. I just want to go in for a mortar to start the game and see what we got. This guy's going to go and cycle anything. It's going to be a vibe because I can zappies and shut that down and reset it. He is not going to be happy with that. As long as he doesn't have fireball, that's going to be like multiple more mortar shots. Oh my gosh. If I get 3 of them, that's already 1/4 of his tower. That's so dumb. Mortar is a defensive card that can go full offense, the best of both worlds. And that's why I like it so much. It's just a very versatile card. All right, I'm going to Valk on defense because I don't want to eat the Fire Spirit damage. I can arrow on top of the Goblin Gang and finish off the rest of the Furnace. This is risky because I don't know if this dude's going to whip out a random minion horde. You never know with crazy people when they've got Furnace and Giant Skeleton. I am fully expecting log bait with Goblin Barrel, so I'm poised in position to go in for guards here. If that's the case, I might need to go for Musketeer in the middle and just preempt that. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I've seen decks like this too much, so if I know what our opponent's going to have, I'm not going to make the misstep and allow him to get through. Giant Skeleton takes 3 hits to kill a Musketeer, so he wasn't able to break through.
Pizza time.
It does 1-tap Dark Goblins and Princesses, and it also 2-taps Mother Witches. Knowing those type of interactions will allow you to defend in situations that your opponent aren't expecting, and then also get better interactions. Also, when he rages up and drops Elite Barbarians, notice how the E-Barbs are just going to die to Zappies. So he dropped 8 Elixir, I dropped 4, and I shut it completely down. A lot of times people are like, how do you beat E-Barbs? This is the best deck to do it. When you run Zappies, you hard counter them. It's pretty good experience from my end, at least. I'm going to go in for a Valkyrie here so that I can go and stop the Inferno Dragon and hopefully minimize the amount of value that he gets from that. It's annoying that the Fire Spirits are going to be able to connect, but still a vibe. Okay, I can go in for a Graveyard. I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling frisky. In single Elixir, it's not necessarily that good, but yeah, because like if you overcommit and you go into a Mega Knight in single Elixir, that's how you can lose the game. Most of the time, if you don't know what your opponent's crazy deck is, like, better to play safe rather than sorry. I think I can Graveyard now. I think that we got one of the guards surviving. It's not going to give us too much value, but we'll have to wait and see what he does. Beautiful! That's so good. Yo!
Mother, is that you?
Look at his card cycle. He's in shambles. He went in for a Goblin Barrel on defense. That's how you know he's in a bad spot, boys. That's what I'm talking about. I was wondering if I finagled the bagel, and I did. All right, I'm going to go for Musketeer because it seems like he doesn't have a big spell, so that's a vibe. I can go in for guards in the middle, and then when he continues to spam me, I think this is fine for us to go for arrows on all of this stuff so I can clean it up a bit faster. I'm going to go in for zappies in the middle so then the Giant Skeleton doesn't lock. If you go in for a Goblin Barrel, that might hit my tower, so yeah, it's definitely going to hit my tower. Oh man, this is kind of bad for me. I wonder, I think I have to go all in and take the tower on the left-hand side. That's what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to go in for the Graveyard. I'm going to go in for guards. I'm going to freeze. And we'll see if we can make it happen for the memes. Because I'm definitely losing my tower to the bomb. So I need to take it all out here. Okay, so that fast decision-making saved my butt. Especially when this guy thought he won the game and started giving us the fish emoji. Oh, this will be such a satisfying win. We're beating all the dirty BMers today that think that they beat me. We come back. This is the epic comeback story. Maybe I can go in for a Valkyrie in the back. And then go for guards. But Giant Skeleton is one of the strongest cards in Clash Royale. I'm sure you guys have figured that out as well. It does so much damage if it locks onto tower, so you have to be a bit scared of that. I'm going to freeze here so our Musketeer doesn't get killed. And then I got to go in for zappies, arrows here so then the Giant Skeleton dies so it doesn't reach my tower. Zappies should be able to stop the Inferno Dragon. As you guys can see, I think Giant Skeleton is just a little bit overpowered. Just a little bit. I've always been using it in my decks, and the first time that I don't use it, I'm struggling into it when he mirrors it up. Makes sense. It's just a really, really good one. I'm going to go for Musketeer here, and I've got Freeze on deck, so I can't go in for Graveyards in this matchup right now when it's a 1-1 situation, so he's got both towers shooting it. I mean, maybe I can if I'm up a lot of Elixir, but it just seems pretty aggressive, so I'm not going to do it if I don't have to. I go for guards again so that we can keep the mortar alive. I might want to arrow aggressively and then Valkyrie here. So What I'm hoping to do is just get a couple mortar shots. That's how I plan on winning this game, because it seems like this guy doesn't have a big spell. So if we get a couple mortar shots, that will be worth it. Yeah, it looks like that's working out really, really well for me. So I'm going to go for another mortar here. Man, this game is coming down the wire. Why are these so intense right now? Like, I'm sweat mode out here, guys. I just want to win. Like, more than anything, when I lose against people that BM me that are, like, not super nice, yeah, I don't like that. That's that stuff we don't like. We're going to go in for a Valkyrie here, and then I can arrows on the Goblin Gang that he has to drop. Look at that. We just reading this guy like a book. He's so mentally devastated after thinking he was going to win, and then plays poorly afterward. Oh, dude, we're going to give you the hee-hee-haw. Very rarely do I BM, but when someone BMs me thinking that they won and we bounce back, they deserve it. The comebacks today have been out of this world. So jumping into the game against Darwin, let's see if we can survive. Survival of the fittest. Only the greatest will succeed, and this guy's got Mega Knight, so, I mean... Darwin, I feel like you haven't really survived your own test. If you run Mega Knight right now, it's kind of okay with certain decks, but for the most part, it got nerfed to oblivion. That thing is not alive any longer. Also, the Mega Knight's out of cycle, so I can Gallivant through with the Graveyard and then potentially freeze. Also, now I'm going to save my minions counter, my arrows, every single time. If he wants to go in for any other card, we can freeze, especially if he goes and clicks his arrows or zap, because now he has no removal of the skeletons. Oh, wow, really? You have 2 small spells. I've never seen that before, really. In this meta, it makes sense, but I don't know. I haven't seen that too often with Mega Knight. For the most part, I see zap plus skeleton barrel and spam, or like arrows, freeze, and balloon, but really ever someone running double small spells. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna have balloon as well. I could have pulled that to the other side. I do need to go for a musketeer here in case he drops some other shenanigans to finish off the mortar, but I love mortar for that reason. You pull the balloon to the side so then it doesn't do any damage to your tower, and you force out a Valkyrie from the opponent that he would have never dropped there. So now it's an even trade with a Valkyrie for the mortar, and we counter the balloon for free essentially. So quite a good transaction. I can guard surround, or I can go in for zappies. It doesn't really matter that much. I think I want to go for guards and then arrows on top of minions that he's about to drop. So a pretty obvious minion, since he had it in cycle. It was really the only thing that he could support the Mega Knight with. So I made that deduction. I'm like, okay, if I drop zappies, that's going to cost 4 elixir. I probably won't be able to afford the arrows immediately. Rather, just get away with spending the least amount of elixir possible in this situation. The path of least resistance. Survival of the fittest is coming true. I'm sorry, Darwin. Darwinism is going to be named after us now. I'm the captain now. All right, he's going to go and spam me really aggressively. I don't care too much because I know I have a Valkyrie, and I think that even if you arrow, you have to go for zap, so that's a lot of elixir spent. I think I can go in for high guards here and say hello to my little friend, the Inferno Dragon. He's going to Mega Knight in the back. Usually in this type of situation, it's pertinent for us to continue the mortar spam, so then he has to go in for a balloon here, and it's just really uncomfortable for him. He's going to be able to jump on top of the musketeer, so I'm going to Valkyrie right after, and I'm going to arrows on everything. The main thing is, as long as we win the battle at the river, even though you guys are like, wait, why would you go mortar into a Mega Knight? I'm still going to get shots on his tower. Mega Knight just isn't a good card anymore, and if you fight on your side of the map, which, you know, expos and mortars allow you to do, you're going to get great transactions. Also, one other thing about Valkyrie, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you drop your guard super far away, the guards outrange the Valkyrie, so the Valkyrie won't be able to hit all the guards. Notice how it only hits one of the guards there, and it barely damages anything else down. Isn't that dumb?
How you doing, Rex? I was close to being scared that time.
It's ridiculous in my opinion. So he's going to go Mega Knight, and he's not going to be able to kill the Musketeer. I can freeze on defense, which I usually don't do, but I don't want my Valkyrie to get killed by the Inferno Dragon, so that's why I decided to do that today. If he loses the Mega Knight, then I can simply go in for guards and then protect the mortar, but I don't think that was that good. I think I could have dropped guards and then made sure that the Mega Knight didn't jump and then got a couple mortar shots on the tower, but I'd rather play safe than sorry. So I'm going to arrows on minions if he decides to drop it. He's not going to because he knows that I've got arrows in cycle. And he's just playing this super defensive. For all intents and purposes, guys, we're up 2,000 damage, and there's no way for him to break through. So one of the #1 questions I always get in the comment section is, how do you beat Mega Knight? I have never lost to Mega Knight using this deck, and today is not an exception. Here we go. We got a game against the Snowstorm. Dude, he's ready for the freeze. He's prepared. He's bracing himself already. Okay, so zappies are garbage into furnace. You guys already know that. I am not dropping my zappies into a furnace. I don't have a death wish out here. I could go for a graveyard, but I mean, I'm already spending more elixir than he is with the Valkyrie going into this and then probably having to arrows. Oh my gosh.
This has got to be the saddest day of my life.
Wow. I did not mean to get that lucky. I'll take that trade, guys. I'll take that trade. I was just trying to finish off the furnace and try to cycle elixir so that I didn't leak. And this guy decided to gift me the best gift I've ever received, donating 3 elixir into the charity of the arrows. Okay, so unfortunately, if I graveyard right now, I think that he could just get a great trade because I don't have elixir for the freeze immediately. I don't really want to play like that. I can also activate King Tower, and you guys might be like, why would you do this against someone that has Royal Giant? Because you don't know what the rest of his cards are. He could have Golden Knight or something. So if I leak a little bit of elixir and I make that happen, it's well worth. Remember, he's going to have minions to counter my graveyard. For each successive push that I go in for, I need to have arrows. Otherwise, I'm going to be a sad sir. I want to go and split 1 guard on the left-hand side. We're going to sacrifice the almighty 1 guard into the Fire Spirits. It's going to take 2 Fire Spirits for the team. And then I can graveyard here with the Valkyrie and then arrows. I think this is well worth it because he went in for a Furnace. He spent more elixir, so I'm okay with this. And the Valkyrie should be able to tank. Ooh, those are barbarians too. Dang. Bro, you are going to have some heavy defenses for us. So since I don't have Fireball, I will have to go for a freeze on top of the barbarians, which isn't necessarily going to be super good. And I'm eating a ton of damage from the Fire Spirits, but I want to be able to get counter push with my musketeer, so I'm willing to do that. I'm going to split 1 zappy on the left-hand side. It's going to miss the Fire Spirit for sure, but the next one, that's where it's going to strike. Oh, wow. That was sad. That was actually really sad. I thought that it wouldn't be that bad, but the zappy just didn't want to do it. Man. Did we go in for a Valkyrie here so I don't lose the Furnace cycle? Man, this is wild. If you Royal Giants, I should be able to shut it down. Minions are out of cycle, so that's quite good for me. I think I'm going to freeze on top of the Barbarians, as I said before, and then I can arrow on the Fire Spirit and the Minions for a decent trade. Not the best trade, but it's a trade I'm willing to take. Okay, so I think I have to eat that Fire Spirit because, yeah, I didn't know what he's going to do, and I need to save elixir. That works out a lot better in our favor. I can go in for a Valkyrie here, so then we can pull the Ice Wizard and the Barbarians, and then also have it go towards the Royal Giant. If you guys haven't done that before, it's pretty important to do, because otherwise I'd lose my tower. Sometimes when you play Graveyard, you'll play against cards that you can't kill. Whether it's Poison or it's going to be Barbarians, you're still able to win if you're able to get your Mortar lock on, or if you can finagle a situation where they just don't have enough elixir to defend. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get him into an uncomfy card cycle where I can arrows away these minions, hit the Barbarians, and then get enough damage that I can finish off the Ice Wizard. And I think I'm trading relatively okay here. It's not the best in the world, but it's not anything that will lose me the game. If he fireballs on top of the Musketeer, he also has to drop more elixir, so I'm okay with that. He still isn't able to kill the Muskie, so this is quite good for us. I think the Musketeer will eventually die, which is not the best. Might have been better off dropping the Valkyrie there. Okay, if I Mortar aggressively, it's able to kill. And then it also, if it stays alive and he Royal Giants into this, it'll be even better for us. I'm going to arrows just to stop that from finishing off my entire Zappies defense. And then I'm going to go in for a Graveyard Freeze, and I'm not going to... Okay, never mind. I'm going to go for a Musketeer here, sacrifice the Zappy because it's useless. I guess I want to go in for a Valkyrie as well, so then it doesn't die to a Fire Spirit. I can go for guards on top of the Ice Wizard and see what we can make happen. So as I said before, this is definitely not easy to do. We're going to try to find our opportunities when he overcommits Elixir, like I think he just did. We're going to go for the Freeze, and then I will eat one Fire Spirit again. I think this might be enough for us to win if we can just get a Graveyard Surround and get some good RNG for once in our lives. Not necessarily working out the way that we need. Fire Spirits are so obnoxious with this matchup. Gonna Fireball on me. I think that the Fire Spirits would win him the game, so I need to do this. Fireball does not do enough damage. It does like 5 damage less, so I think I can go for a Graveyard, and then I can go in for a Freeze here, and then maybe the guards can lock onto the tower. If these guards lock onto the tower, I can win the game. All I need is those guards to lock onto the tower. Come on, baby! Not enough. Jeez, this is wild. He's gonna Fireball me, but that's still not enough, so he has to drop more Elixir. What is he doing? He's trying to cycle 2 Fireballs on me. This game is really coming down the wire. Just one more hit. One more little skeleton hit. Let's go! The log was rolling through, but we walked away with the win. You'll love to see it, baby. As I said before, playing against Barbarians or Poison will definitely be a struggle, but you can still pull it out. Like, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.